At the very beginning of the movie, a massive spaceship is shown traveling through space, heading away from Earth to another planet to collect resources. Inside the ship, all the astronauts and passengers are asleep inside their hibernation pods while the vessel moves toward its destination on autopilot. Suddenly, several meteors collide with the ship, badly damaging it and throwing it off balance. To prevent total destruction, the ship's AI system launches all the astronaut pods into space, forcing emergency landings on a nearby unknown planet. Inside one of these pods is a man named Andy, who wakes up in shock, completely unaware of what has happened. Before he can understand anything, the pod's robotic arms suit him up for landing. Looking outside, Andy sees many other pods falling like his, realizing the severity of the situation. Most pods burn due to extreme speed, but Andy's pod barely survives, only to crash violently into a mountain. He blacks out, but later wakes up, unharmed, alone, with no other pods nearby. His suit's AI, Leonard, tells him to exit because the pod is damaged, but the door is jammed. Andy tries everything, even breaking the glass, but it's incredibly strong. His emergency kit is missing tools because he's just a basic engineer. Using a fire extinguisher, he finally breaks free, but the pod flips, tearing his suit and causing oxygen to leak fast. Leonard warns him, and Andy quickly seals the tear, escapes the pod, and looks around for help, but there is no one in sight. Just then, Andy notices their damaged ship burning across the sky before crashing straight onto the planet's surface. Shaken, Andy asks Leonard where they are and what planet this is, and Leonard explains that it's a completely unknown world with no human data at all, which makes Andy even more anxious. While scanning the area, Andy spots something glowing in the distance and decides to head toward it. Along the way, he comes across the flaming wreckage of his ship and finds another pod nearby, but it's empty. He pulls out an oxygen tank for his journey, only to suddenly stumble upon a dead body, terrifying him. Although he takes the tank, he soon realizes it's cracked and completely empty, leaving him devastated. Without noticing deep scratch marks on the pod, Andy continues toward the glowing light, surviving a violent storm along the way. When he finally reaches it, he's relieved to discover it's a set of lights set up by another astronaut named Dwayne, who is equally happy to see a living person. Dwayne has gathered equipment to send a message to Earth and reveals the company took a risky shortcut to save money, despite heavy meteor danger. When Andy asks what they'll do now, Dwayne explains they can only wait, as messages will take months to reach Earth and rescue could take years. Andy panics about surviving without food or water, but Dwayne grimly says survival may mean drinking urine or even eating the dead. Andy is disturbed, but gains courage from Dwayne's motivation. Suddenly, as Andy fixes a loose power cable, something silently grabs Dwayne from behind and drags him away without Andy noticing. When Andy turns around, Dwayne is gone, and Andy assumes he must be nearby. Andy sees that the message to Earth is finally ready, so without wasting a second, he sends it. At that moment, Leonard warns him that his oxygen level is dangerously low, and he must find more oxygen immediately. Andy decides to head toward the crashed ship, remembering Dwayne said it still had survival supplies and possibly oxygen tanks. Although Andy has been waiting a long time for Dwayne to return, the oxygen crisis forces him to move on, and he takes Dwayne's flare gun with him. As he walks, Andy desperately tries to contact other survivors, but gets no response, causing him to shout in frustration. Suddenly, he hears a voice and makes contact with a woman named Naomi, who begs for help, explaining that her leg is badly trapped inside her pod and she cannot escape alone. Andy wants to help, but when Naomi sends her location, Leonard warns him not to go because his oxygen is too low to reach her. Leonard insists Andy must go to the ship first to survive. Apologizing, Andy tells Naomi that saving her would cost him his life, but Naomi pleads again, revealing she has an extra Astro oxygen tank that could save him. Trusting her, Andy agrees and moves toward her location as night falls. While talking to Naomi, Andy begins to feel like he's being watched and asks Leonard to scan the area, only to learn the AI is outdated due to company cost cutting. Brushing it off as fear, Andy continues, but strange noises, webs, small holes, and a massive spider-like pit terrify him. Sensing danger, Andy warns Naomi about a possible spider alien. She urges him not to stop, but when something suddenly runs past him, Andy instantly shuts off his lights and hides. Suddenly, Naomi panics and says she can see on her scanner that some team members are moving toward Andy. She explains she's tracking them through the location trackers attached to their suits and says they're right in front of him. but they aren't responding at all. Andy can't see anyone, so he asks Leonard to link with the trackers, and once connected, Andy realizes they're within 100 meters. Naomi urgently tells him to run because those people are already dead, meaning whatever is there isn't human. But Andy's curiosity takes over, and he fires a flare gun into the air to see what's lurking in the light. The moment he sees it, he's horrified. It's an alien creature that has brutally eaten their team members. Terrified, Andy turns and runs as the creature chases him. He falls into a mountain crevice, thinking he's safe, but the creature attacks from above. Andy barely escapes and ends up falling down the mountain, landing on snow that saves him from serious injury and finally breaks the chase. Leonard then warns him that his oxygen is leaking, and Andy realizes his suit tore during the fall. He repairs it with spray, but the spray runs out. While explaining everything to Naomi, Dwayne suddenly contacts them, begging for help as he fights the creature nearby. Naomi urges Andy to help since Dwayne is close and has extra oxygen. Though terrified, Andy finally agrees. After falling from the mountain, Andy's GPS is damaged, so Naomi guides him verbally toward Dwayne's location. Andy reaches the spot but sees no one until Dwayne fires a flare to signal him. As Andy runs closer, a creature suddenly attacks and brutally kills Dwayne right in front of him. Terrified, Andy hides behind a pod, trembling as another creature senses his presence and moves closer. Suddenly, a nearby pod powers on and its blinking lights distract the creature, giving Andy a chance to disappear. He's actually hiding inside another pod that Naomi secretly activated, using her supervisor access to control the pods and buy him time. Trying to lure the creatures away, Naomi accidentally activates the pod Andy is hiding in, causing its lights to blink and drawing the creatures back. Inside, a corpse stares eerily at Andy, pushing him to the edge of panic. He begs Naomi to shut the pod down, but it won't turn off, and Andy believes death is certain. In desperation, Naomi activates all the pods at once, confusing the creatures. Andy escapes and runs, but they spot him again. He collapses inside a fog-covered area where the creatures suddenly stop and retreat. Andy then notices glowing fireflies that seem beautiful and calming, until they turn red and attack. He barely escapes, and Naomi realizes the creatures are afraid of these fireflies, which is why they fled. Suddenly, Andy hears a deep growling sound and realizes the creatures didn't run because of the fireflies, but out of fear of something far more terrifying. His fear proves true when the ground beneath him suddenly opens and a massive creature lunges out, trapping Andy so tightly that he can't even move. Naomi is confused, unable to understand what's happening as the creature swallows Andy whole. Trapped inside its mouth, Andy panics so badly that he begins to have a heart attack, forcing Leonard to deliver an electric shock to save him. The shock is so powerful that it also hits the creature, making it spit Andy out. Shocked to be alive, Andy runs into a nearby cave to escape, only to realize it's filled with the same fireflies that instantly turn red and attack him. Barely surviving, Andy crawls out the other side and escapes the fog zone. Leonard then warns him that only 3% oxygen remains, not enough to reach Naomi, and urges him to go to the ship instead. Naomi agrees, but Andy chooses to save her first since the creatures are attacking the pods. With no oxygen left, Andy forces himself forward and finally reaches Naomi, barely breathing. Naomi quickly opens the pod and gives him a fresh oxygen tank, saving his life. Andy then works to free her trapped leg, but it won't move. Checking Naomi's emergency kit, he finds advanced tools missing from his own kit, uses one to free her leg, and helps her out. Andy grabs a flare gun and supplies, then supports Naomi's injured leg with a rod so she can walk. Naomi thanks Andy for saving her life, but their relief vanishes when they notice the creatures surrounding them from all sides. With no choice, they sprint toward the crashed ship as the creatures chase them relentlessly. Naomi's injured leg slows her down, so she orders her AI to inject medication to numb the pain, allowing her to run faster. They manage to reach the ship, but Naomi loses her balance and falls. Andy quickly catches her, and they keep running. By now, the creatures are dangerously close, forcing them to dodge through the ship's wreckage. Soon, they get trapped in a narrow area, where the creatures surround them completely. To scare them off, Naomi fires a flare gun. The creatures aren't frightened, but they chase the moving light, giving Naomi an idea. She uses the flare to distract the others, and at the right moment, both of them rush inside the ship. Realizing they've been tricked, the creatures charge again just as Naomi struggles to close the gate. "Andy, panics, but she shuts it in time, crushing one creature in the door, which oddly brings Andy a sense of relief. Inside, they find the ship heavily damaged but powered by a backup generator. In the cargo hold, they discover enough oxygen to survive for 10 years in a stable atmosphere, meaning they can breathe without helmets. Their happiness fades when they notice blood trails on the floor, as if a body was dragged away. Following the trail, they find human remains and webs, realizing something is terribly wrong. A creature suddenly appears, and Andy and Naomi immediately turn off their lights and hide. The creature drags out human bones and helmets from its stomach, and when they see Dwayne's helmet, both shiver in terror. Once it leaves, they cautiously move forward, but another creature drops nearby. Luckily, it doesn't notice them at first, so they start retreating. A slip by Andy makes a noise, alerting the creature, which spots them. Quick thinking, Andy drags Naomi into an airlock and locks the gate, but the creature begins breaking through. Andy tries to open the cargo bay gate from the other side, but Naomi realizes the button is outside, meaning they are trapped with the creature almost breaking in. Helpless, they brace for death. Andy, in despair, talks about his family dying in a car accident, blaming himself, but Naomi reassures him he shouldn't carry that guilt and that he's a good person. They embrace, sharing a final emotional moment. Just then, Naomi spots a cluster of fireflies stuck to Andy's suit from the cave. As the creature bursts through the gate, she throws the fireflies onto it, distracting it. Using the chaos, they reach the cargo bay button, open the gate, and start moving. But before they can escape, the creature forces them both to fall from the height, landing right in front of it, ready to strike. Andy spots Naomi's fallen suit repair spray and quickly throws it into the creature's mouth, gluing it shut, giving them a chance to run. The creature recovers and pursues, but Naomi lures it behind her while Andy spots intact pods above. He plans to crush the creature by launching a pod, explaining his idea to Naomi. She instructs him to turn off all cargo bay lights, blinding the creature. As the creature lunges at Naomi, she narrowly dives into a broken box for safety. Andy tries to start the pod, but a power outage stops him. Leonard tells him he could use his suit's battery to launch it, though Andy must sit inside, risking his life. Accepting the danger, Andy connects his suit to the pod, while Naomi keeps the creature occupied with lights. Spotting the right moment, Andy launches the pod, recalling the memory of losing his family in a car accident. The pod crashes into the creature, killing it, and Naomi falls back but rushes to Andy, who is unconscious. She cries until he opens his eyes, alive. Morning breaks, and Andy confirms he sent a message to Earth via Dwayne's machine. Rescue will come in years, and now they must survive, ending the movie on this tense yet hopeful note. If you loved the intense human vs. giant creature battle, comment below which scene shocked you the most, and don't forget to subscribe for more movie recaps.